that looks like rain. It looks like a lot of rain. Please no, I hate this time of year. Right boys, right, ignore the smoke pouring up from the bike. Just ACR 50 from where I've cleaned it. We're going to be doing a first ride of the new handlebars in the new position and the heated grips, which are actually warm already. Wow, okay. Right, so let's crack on with it, shall we? And we'll also be doing sort of a first ride overview thing on the comfort seat, the KTM comfort seat, see if that makes any difference or not. So first impressions of the bars, they are a lot wider. Like, they feel a lot wider and a lot flatter, and nowhere near as pulled back as the old ones. Now the old ones, they were a bit sporty in the regard that the actual bits that the bars mount on themselves. Yeah, fucking do one, mate. They are a lot straighter than the old ones were, and less pulled back. Therefore, not giving me nowhere near as much kind of hand pump already. Because as soon as I got on the bike before, the hand pump was quite, you know, wrist strain and pump was quite a lot because of the way that the bars were angled diagonally. I've not got that so far. They're a lot more flat. They're a lot more flat, even to the point of leaning forward. Let's try and change these around because all my stuff has changed. So yeah, they're a lot more lean forward. I maybe feel like I have to pull the bars back a little bit, so visually they don't look too sort of length forward, but they definitely feel like they're a bit more, well, length forward for one, but also they just feel different. They're wider. My arms are sort of spread out a little bit more, which is good. So there's not as much sort of, again, cramp and what the hell is this guy doing? Come on, mate. Yeah, I definitely feel like I need to pull them back a little bit more, which is fine. Hurry the fuck up, pal. Which I don't mind, I can pull them back. I'm not asked about that at all. So but just comfort wise, they feel a lot better. Like, they feel less tight, they feel less cramped up. I feel like I've got more room out here. I'm sort of, you know, and that will also give you, because they are wider. I think the stock bars are 765mm and these are 800 on the dot, if I remember right. They were 795. I can still get it in and out of my garage seemingly okay. It's not clipping the walls, and sort of torque wise on the end of the bars, if you have a longer lever, it's going to handle a little bit better. But in terms of stability, like, the wind blast doesn't feel as sort of lethal, because if you watch my other videos, what happens was the other bars, it was weird because I thought that this would be worse for wind blast. Honestly, I thought they would be worse for wind blast just because of they're wider and less sort of tucked in, which means that they're more liable to get the wind hit them when you're going certain, like, you know, decent speeds. They feel really, really good. So I'm actually really happy with the bars. We'll come back after a long ride, and see just how much difference there really is, if there is any. For now, yeah, I'm really happy with these. There seems to be sort of a similar amount of vibrations. Yeah, I really need to change the mirrors a bit. Oh, fucking hell. I'll fuck that up. Oh, fucking hell. Here we fucking go. I don't think I've tightened the mirror down enough. Oh, fuck. Trying to fuck with the mirror too much, because that's all kinds of fucking loose, that is. Bollocks. See, obviously, consequently, with the bar sort of geometry that's changed, the angle of the controls is going to change as well, and they don't feel as cramped. You know, just getting to my indicators and stuff like that, and my controls where my levers are, they don't feel anywhere near as stay there, mate. Yeah, they don't feel anywhere near as obstructed to get to, because again, because of the bar angle coming back, they were quite sort of squished into me, if that makes any sense. They were kind of like this way. The bars, if anything, they feel like they're kind of going up a little bit on a scoop upwards. So if I pull the bars back a little bit, that means that they'll then have a bit more pull backwards. But from standard now, the first test, yeah, my mirrors have absolutely fucked it. Oh, fuck. I think I've forgotten to tighten the mirror up. Ugh, it's going to be fun on the motorway, innit? They feel a lot nicer to ride. The handling feels a bit more direct because they're longer. Yeah, everything just feels a lot nicer, actually, a lot more comfortable for my top, which hopefully will then translate to, oh, here we go, will then translate at the bottom half of the bike, feeling a little bit better to ride, is in my knees and all that kind of stuff. The controls are a lot nicer to use now, because my hands and wrists were on a weird angle. It was kind of difficult to get it up and over on that angle. These are just up and straight away. This is a massive change, and I really, really like it. I'm glad I've done it, put it that way. Really glad I've done it. Which then brings me on to the heated grips. I've mapped them to my custom 1 button, and what's really cool about that is that they automatically turn on. So if you set them to high, they will come on all the time. So when you turn the engine on, you know, you have to have the engine running for them to work. But if you turn the engine on, it won't lose that on feed. It won't lose that setting of it being on. I'm gonna have to somehow work around that mirror being fucked up because I've not fucking tightened it like an idiot. In terms of warmth, they're okay actually. They're on the highest setting at the minute. I've come out with my normal gloves on and not my heated gloves just to give it a fair test, and they're not the hottest things I've ever had. They're probably on par with the speed triple 1200s that I had. They're probably on par with that, to be honest. It's 12 degrees basically out here, fairly standard for this time of year, but it's not warm at all in any shape or form. They're okay for the minute. Well, the biggest test is going to be seeing them on the motorway now. Heated grips should never really be distracting to the point, you know, where they're scorching your hands. Obviously that's a bad thing. However, they need to be warm enough to keep up with temperatures like motorways and stuff where you're doing 70 odd mile an hour. We'll see how that is in a minute. Until then, we'll crack on. I'm impressed with both of these so far. If I really wrap my hands around the heated grips, then yeah, they're fairly warm. I'd like them to be warmer, obviously, like with everything, but so far I'm enjoying it. Yeah, I really am enjoying it. I'm nearly run out of petrol, so I'm going to go and fill up because we've got a hefty journey on our hands today. Just try and sort this fucking, look at that mirror, bollocks. Right, I've just recorded a whole load, but it didn't record. Basically, I've lost my right mirror. There you go. I've essentially had to take it and whack it in my pocket. That was really sketchy. One of the screws has come unloose. Fucking well annoyed at. So I basically stayed in this lane because I cannot see for the life of me what's behind me. Bars and heated grips, I'm loving them. I really am. I'm going to pull the bars back a little bit more than usual because they feel like they're a bit kind of sticky uppy, if that makes sense. They're not flat. So I'm going to pull them back at some point, but as is, they're really nice. I feel like I've got more room. It's easier to get to my controls. It just the whole feel of it is just miles better. My levers are sticking up a little bit, but they feel like I could get to them, and that's not a problem. Yeah, I'm really impressed. I'm very, very happy. Wasn't expecting that, to be honest, so I'll take that. The heated grips, they're keeping up with the motorway. Yes, I'm not doing 70, 80 odd mile an hour, but they're keeping up reasonably well. It smells like shit, but yeah, they're really, really nice. I'm really, really enjoying the bars. They're not cramping me up. They feel a lot nicer. They feel like more roomy. I can get to the controls easier. Everything just feels nicer than the stock ones. And the vibrations as well, that was something I was worried about. There's no more, no less. Fairly even with the stock bars, to be honest. So I don't feel a massive difference in that at all. I just feel a lot more comfortable, which is great for me. Like I said, the grips, they're warm. They're not overly hot. They could do with being a little bit warmer, in my opinion. You know, a few more degrees would be nice, but for what they're doing on the motorway on a cold day, they're pretty good, really pretty good. So talking about the seat now, the Ergo seat, I put that on because I was getting a really, really bad bum. I was getting a really bad sciatica, basically. Horrible pains, shooting pains in my knees and my legs and all that shit. I need to be in a different lane at some point here. Oh, for fuck's sake. Fuck it, I'm just going to stick in here. I need to get in this lane anyway. Sorry if I just cut you up, mate, but I can't see. I love this. I don't at all. Yeah, so, oh fucking hell, I can't let you out, mate. I don't have a mirror. You fucking knob. You should have fucking done that beforehand, you penis. For fuck's sake. But yeah, the original seat was causing me a load of pain in my knees, a lot of discomfort, and it wasn't nice at all. And I got this new Ergo seat, went for a ride, and it doesn't feel much different, to be honest. The one thing that I am noticing though, out of my testing, because I did a ride back on it last week, about 40 mile on it last week, and it's not pinching my arse like the other one does. The stock one, there was not much support in the glute area, so you basically compress all of the foam to the point that it went to the plastic bit, and it would just cut, because you're sitting on a hard object at that point. But hey, you're basically cutting off the blood flow to your legs, and it was killing my knees. This already, I've been on here longer than usual without, I'm getting pain, but it's nowhere near as bad, if that makes sense. So it might be a combination of the new handlebars and the seat, but you know, it's not that big of a difference. My knees are definitely hurting, they're killing me, but then they don't feel as bad as they normally would be, if that makes sense, at this point in the journey. So we'll come back after a few hundred mile or so. Oh fuck me, here we go. Another guy that wants to fucking get out. What are you doing? Come on, mate. Fucking hurry up, you dickhead. Yeah, thank you. We'll come back in a few hundred miles and we'll give you a review of the seat. Hopefully that will be a good, positive, you know, because like I said, I have a lot of problems with knees and stuff, and I can't ride for very long, which is why I don't go out on group rides and stuff, because I'm always having to stop and I feel like I'm a burden on other people at that point. So yeah, but that's me. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you very, very soon, I'm sure. I'll give you some updates on this beautiful stuff in the future. If you want more, just make sure you subscribe and you like. I've got all sorts of videos on my channel if you want to check them out, with installs and reviews and tests and all that kind of stuff of different bikes and gear and parts and installs, all that shite. So if you want to stick around, I'd very much appreciate it. I'd like to see you back again, and thank you again so much for watching. I'll see you very, very soon, I'm sure. And until... wait, what was my outro? I fucking forgot. And until the next time, folks, sort them out. See you later. Bye bye.